now present George Edwards in Frankenstein. The good ship Voyager had been on a journey of exploration towards the North Pole. He was homeward bound, but unfortunately, the icy grip of the northern winter closed in, and he was surrounded by great blocks of solid ice. The captain and crew were prepared for a weary wait before the thaw set, and they could continue their journey home. Shortly after noon, Captain Walton and his first mate, Mr. Boyd, were standing on the deck of the Voyager. They looked out across the icy waste.
Well, Mr. Boyd, I think we'll be here for quite a considerable time yet. There's no sign of a thaw setting in.
The trouble is to keep the crew occupied, Captain, and they're beginning to stumble and feel already.
Well, give them as much work as... After all, we were prepared for something like this. We have our supplies, provisions. I will take all responsibility for my men. I can promise you that they will all return safely to England.
Why?
Avail you, Mr. Boyd.
Coming across the ice.
Man. Are all accounted for, Mr. Boyd?
No, I've left the vessel, sir.
Ahoy there! I want to believe. This is another signal of my constant brain. I can assure you this is a ship. Give orders to the suspenders to be helped aboard, Mr. Boyd.
Aye, sir.
What ship is this? Whither are you bound? My men are coming to help you aboard now, sir. Bring him up that rope ladder.
Stranger appears to speak good English.
Yeah. I wonder where he came from. I can't understand it. A man wandering about all alone out here. The wind and the snow is howling about.
And they're bringing him aboard now, sir.
Who is the captain of this vessel? I am the captain. My name is Walton. And whither is this vessel bound? We have been on a voyage of exploration towards the North Pole. As we commenced our journey homeward, the ice closed in on us. We are staying here until the thaw sets in. May I crave your hospitality and shelter? Most certainly, sir. May I ask your name? Victor Baron Frankenstein. I am ill and weak. Careful, he will fall.
All right, sir, I can think.
I must express my sorrow for the trouble I am causing you, Captain. But I am seeking shelter. Then my quest must go on. I must always go on. I cannot die till I find that evil, that demon, which I unloosed upon the world. You speak strange words, sir. Forgive me. If I can but crave your kindness, some food, and I will. Mr. Boyd, take Baron Frankenstein below to my cabin. See that he is made comfortable there. Give him food and drink. Let the ship's surgeon attend to him.
You are giving him your cabin, sir?
Why not? You heard my orders. Have a hammock slung for me in the cabin.
Aye, sir.
How does the stranger progress?
We put him to bed, sir. We slept for quite a long time. He seems better now. I think his mind is rambling.
Why do you say that?
Well, every now and then he speaks of some demon, some fearful monster. Appears through the porthole. We had to use force on one occasion to persuade him to return to his bed.
Strange. Perhaps his wanderings have deranged his mind.
Do you think it is safe to leave him without a guard? Do you think we should take the precaution of locking your door, sir?
He appears to be a gentleman. No doubt he has a strange story to tell. Has he mentioned anything which might supply a key to this mystery? Or why he was wandering about here in these icy wastes?
Said that he was searching for an evil spirit, for a destroyer, a taker of human life. Something about the man which makes me afraid, sir.
Oh, boy, the man could do you no harm. I will go down and speak with him myself.
Do you wish me to accompany you, Captain?
No, I will go alone.
But should he become violent?
The man is weak and ill. How can he become violent?
He struggled with us when we dragged him away from the porthole, taking us to watching, forever watching.
Poor devil. I will try to persuade him to tell me his story. Wait here on deck, boys. I will send for you if I need you. My intrusion, Baron Frankenstein. I came to inquire after your health.
Why was I locked in this cabin? Why are you keeping me a prisoner?
I am considering your own safety.
Considering my own safety? I tell you, sir, my life means nothing to me. I wish to repair the great wrong which I have done. My friends, my family, they have all been murdered. And I am the murderer.
You know not what you say.
Look on me, Captain. You are looking on a man who unleashed a horror on this world. A man who is responsible for the murder of his beloved wife, his best friend, for the murder of little children.
Are you a fugitive from justice?
I am not a fugitive. I have been punished because I tried to usurp the rights of God. Now I seek to repair the wrong which I did.
I do not understand you.
Bid your sailors keep a close watch. Somewhere in these white wastes, somewhere near here, there is a monster, a creature who delights in taking human life. None of you is safe.
Your wanderings and your hardships have caused you to imagine these things.
No, I swear it is the truth. Near this vessel, I saw a giant footprint in the snow. It must have been the footstep of the monster which I created.
Would you like to tell me something of your story?
Captain Welton, I do not know if you will believe my story when I tell it to you. Perhaps you may have proof. Perhaps someday you will look upon this monster. May heaven grant that you do not.
If it will help you to tell me about it, Baron Frankenstein, I assure you I will make a ready listener.
Be seated, Captain. I have told you that my name is Baron Victor Frankenstein. I was born in Geneva, and my family is one of the most distinguished in that republic. My father has filled several public situations with honor and reputation. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity. So you can see, sir, that I grew up in the most ideal surroundings. When I was 17, my parents sent me to the University of Ingolstadt, and there I became interested in science. During my attendance at the university, my beloved mother died. I returned home for a brief while, and whilst at home I fell deeply in love with my cousin Elizabeth, and I determined to marry her as soon as my course at the university had been completed. I returned to Ingolstadt and continued with my studies. I read deeply, and gradually a most dreadful thought occurred to me. From my readings and my studies, I realized that it would be possible for man to create man. I became aware of the tremendous power of electricity. I was caught once in a terrific thunderstorm. I observed how the lightning had split an oak tree in half, and the knowledge
Captain. I feel much better. Was there any sign of the monster during the night?
Nothing was seen.
Please be seated. I know that you are interested in my story and you are puzzled by these strange happenings.
I am extremely puzzled.
Well, I told you that after I left the university, my father built a laboratory near our house. Each day I used to spend hours in this laboratory working with my servant Julio. Day after day, I read and studied so that my great experiment would be a success. Sometimes by night, Julio and I would visit graveyards to exhume freshly buried bodies. I was going to make a man, and the creature of my making was to be beautiful. I slaved and labored, neglecting my family and my friends, neglecting my fiancée, Elizabeth. It so happened that at that time, my greatest friend, Ernst Claval, came to stay at our home. He had been at the university with me, and he had a vague inkling as to the nature of my experiment. However, I had become sullen and morose. I shunned my friend, and as my experiment neared completion, well, I became possessed by a strange, tense excitement. Imagine me in my laboratory late one afternoon, Captain Walton. I glanced out of the window and saw that the sky was dark and overcast. My servant Julio stood by my side. Now and again, he would glance over at the great bench on which lay a huge, inanimate figure swayed around with yards of bandages. I walked over to where the figure lay. Julio followed me. Julio, I have news for you. I think that tonight we'll see the end of our work.
Do you mean that the figure will come to life tonight, my master?
I hope so. If the threatened thunderstorm takes place, there will be sufficient electricity to bring light to this inanimate mass. Look at it, Julio. At present, it is a lifeless mass shaped in the form of a man. For months, we have worked over it. Tonight, if the storm breaks, we shall raise this figure to the top of the tower in the laboratory, and there it will stay for 1 hour while the thunder crashes and the lightning flashes. Then we shall lower the body onto this bench once again. The wrappings will be taken off, and who knows? I may have created a man. Think of it, Julio. My work will be rewarded.
I am afraid, master, we should not do this.
Fool, why are you afraid? I am about to make a name for myself. I will be the greatest man in the world because I have created another in my own likeness. Throughout the centuries, men have tried to do this, but I will succeed. I know it.
You may not be meant to succeed.
Who is there?
It is Riddler here. May I come in, Victor?
Yes. All right, Julio. Unlock the door.
Oh, thank you. I wondered if I might watch you at work.
Ernst, the time is right now for you to share my secret. My experiments are almost at an end.
I suspect the nature of your experiments, Victor, and I almost dread to ask if my suspicions are correct.
Look on this bench. Tell me what you see, Ernst.
Acute, inanimate figures swathed around with bandages.
My creation. Tonight, this figure shall have life.
Victor, you must not do it. Man is not meant to do that.
Boy, you are like Julio. He is also afraid.
I want to speak with you privately. Bid Julio be gone.
You may go, Julio, but be here tonight at 7 o'clock. We shall wait for the storm to break. The clouds are banking up now.
I will obey you, my master.
Victor, your life is bound up in this strange experiment, which I do not think for one moment will succeed. But might I point out that you are in love with a very beautiful and charming girl. You are neglecting her, and she feels this neglect keenly.
Claval, my friend, I know that I have been neglecting Elizabeth, but she will be proud of me, proud to marry me. I will be hailed as the greatest scientist the world has ever known.
I beg of you to desist in this experiment. Do not try to bring life to this body tonight. Destroy what you have already done. Then marry Elizabeth and go away somewhere for a long holiday. You do not look well, my friend. Oh, I have been working too hard.
But you ask too much of me, Ernst. I cannot give up my life's work.
Do you love your work more than you do Elizabeth? I love Elizabeth very dearly.
But I must do something with my life. I have always wanted to be a great scientist. My discovery will revolutionize the world. It will be possible to make men. Do you not understand?
It is not possible. Experiments like this are not meant to succeed. You are usurping the right of God.
You are my best friend. You cannot seriously ask me to give up this work. I am going to ask you to be here in this laboratory with me tonight to watch as I unbind the bandages from this figure and to know that my experiment has succeeded.
Very well, Victor. Since you insist. But I do think you should take Elizabeth into your confidence. Let her come here tonight.
Oh, she will be afraid.
We will all be afraid. But without wishing to damn your other, let me assure you that I do not think this experiment will succeed.
We shall see.
Well, come with me now. Speak to Elizabeth. Tell her that you have been neglecting her and ask her to be present tonight.
I will do that.
We will go and seek out Elizabeth now.
Well, Captain, I sought out my fiancée. I told her the truth. At first she was horrified, but gradually she became interested, and she consented to be present in the laboratory that night. After dinner, the storm developed rapidly. The thunder roared, and there were great streaks of forked lightning. Together, Elizabeth, Ernst, and myself went to the laboratory. There we found Julio awaiting us, and I led the way to the bench on which lay the inanimate figure. When we reached the bench, well, my friends, I feel that you are about to witness one of the most extraordinary things in the annals of the world's history. Before you see a great inanimate figure entirely covered in bandages. By means of pulleys, Julio and I will raise that figure to the top of the tower, where it will remain for an hour. Then we will lower it, and I think the figure will have life.
No, you cannot do it, Victor. You must not. I am afraid.
Elizabeth, you said you had confidence in me.
Will you promise me this, Victor? If the experiment is a failure, will you marry me and let us go away together? Never attempt to do this again. It is madness.
I promise that if the experiment is a failure, I will discontinue all attempts. Now, does that satisfy you, Elizabeth?
It does.
Oh, do not worry, Elizabeth. I feel sure that this experiment cannot succeed.
You hope it does not succeed, Ernst, but we shall see. The storm is at its height now. Come, Julio. Help me to place the body on the lift. Now, careful. Roll it over.
Victor, I beg of you, do not do it.
Quiet, please. Now, Julio, pull the rope, and I will assist you. Pull. There. See, my friend, the body is going up to the tower. There it will be exposed to the full fury of the storm. Watch.
And that thing frightens me. But this is a dreadful storm.
The body is in place now. It will remain there for an hour. We must be patient. We will wait here. And in an hour's time, I will lower the body, unwrap the bandages, and perhaps I will have created. Please proceed, Baron Frankenstein. Tell me what happened. I can tell you no more today, Captain. I am weary now, and the memory of the past upsets me. Please be patient. I will be patient. I will leave you to rest now, but I will return later, anxious to hear the remainder of your story.